What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, and today we are taking a look at some more motorcycle movie scenes. I did a video like this a little while ago, and you guys mentioned a ton of different movies you'd like to see me break down. So today we're taking a look at ones powered entirely by the comments section on that last video. Strap yourselves in, kiddos. This one's gonna be interesting. Now folks, I do want to shout out real quick before we dive in that this video in all likelihood is going to get demonetized by the Content ID robots over at YouTube. So if you would like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below and check out the Patreon. Over there you'll get access to early access to videos, you'll get weekly-ish live streams that are exclusively for the Discord server, you'll get access to the Discord server, you'll be able to see the director's cuts of some of my reviews, which are longer form videos that feature everything that didn't make the cut for YouTube. Sometimes they're between 5 and 10 minutes longer because, of course, my reviews needed to get longer. You get discounts on merch and a whole bunch of other goodies. So check the links down in the description below. And with that, let's dive on into our first scene, which is by far one of the silliest, but also my favorite motorcycle scenes, and that is the chase from Matrix Reloaded.
Jump on.
They didn't unstrap the motorcycle. Yeah, they didn't unstrap the bike. That's a continuity error. Nope. Nuh-uh. If you have a passenger on the back of that, it's a lot like the Terminator scene where the bike drops off the ledge. The Ducati would have probably crashed. Just because of the way the load is distributed, it would have been a disaster. Total BS, but I mean, it was all CGI anyway, so. So, a lot like the Yes Man scene, grabbing all the brakes like that would have been a disaster on this bike. What you need to do, grab a little bit, then a lot. She just went yoink like that. That would have been bad. All right, I want to watch that spin one more time. So I'm pretty sure that they actually did this in 2 steps. My guess is when they go to Trinity, it's CGI, because I don't actually see the keymaster or the keymaker's feet. Oh no, he's definitely there. Maybe that's somebody's foot, like an actual foot prop. It would have been hard to do that with somebody on the back just because of how much weight it is. When you're trying to spin up the rear tire, it's actually easier if you don't have a load above it. That's why a lot of guys who are doing rolling burnouts will put their weight forward on the tank. So there, when they were pulling away the turbo mode thing that happens when you spin up the tire, they did the same thing when they shot off the top of the truck. BS. You actually don't want any wheel spin when you're trying to speed away, because wheel spin means you're losing horsepower. It means you have too much power to the ground. Movies love to do that because you see smoke and stuff and it looks cool, but it's just fake. So when it comes to them going against traffic like that, my guess is it's actually 2 takes with one layered over another with some movie magic, because there's no way they actually filmed that. Weaving through traffic like that with the load on the back of the motorcycle, If you've never ridden with a pillion, it's actually really, the way the weight shifts on the motorcycle is really disconcerting for me, and I really do not like having a passenger just because of how much it changes the weight of the bike. Frankly, that scene's really pretty demure, all things considered. So let's move on to something a little bit sillier. Now, before we move on, have you ever noticed how in all of these motorcycle scenes, none of the actors are actually wearing helmets? Now, a lot of people say that that's because the helmet would block the actor's face, and I think that's a decent theory, but I've got another one for you. I actually think it's because they're wearing the wrong pair of sunglasses. That's right, Flying Eyes right here makes the best pair of riding sunglasses. The normal ones out there have heavy stems that don't bend or flex, so they cause a lot of pressure points. Flying Eyes has these super flexible stems so that they can fit comfortably between your head and your helmet. Not only that, but because they're so flexible, they're almost indestructible. If you're interested in trying out a pair of Flying Eyes, they also have their try-on kits where for 40 bucks you can get 4 different lenses, see which one fits you the best, pick out your one, send the rest back, and that $40 gets credited to your purchase. And on top of that, you can use the code SC10 for 10% off your order. Click the link down in the description below to pick yourself up one of the best pairs of sunglasses for your ride. Now let's move on to something that's definitely not super restrained. The Mission Impossible 2 chase scene with, I think, one of the most glaring continuity errors that any rider will actually see. And if you've seen the movie, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's dive on in. You could already see it right there. It was for a frame when the guy's losing the control of the bike. You can see how chunky the knob is on this Daytona here. It's they put like the blockiest adventure tire they could find on this so that they could get some traction here. It makes sense because a street tire would be a disaster. Keep an eye out. There's a lot of that in here. That was BS. Oh my God. That was BS. Let's watch that again. They definitely lowered him in. You can tell just by how flat the bike is. I've never noticed that before. I've seen this movie 1,000 times and it's always a ton of fun, but that is some BS. It looks cool though. It looks really cool. Okay, first of all, if you shoot the gas cap, the gas tank on a car will not explode. Second of all, using a stoppie to turn the motorcycle, yeah, totally doable. Stunt guys do that, where you see them come in, they pivot the bike, they change the weight. Essentially, the front wheel stops and becomes almost a fixed point, and the rest of the weight continues to turn. So yeah, it could be a more effective way of turning the whole motorcycle around.
She's only got a little time left. Track ahead and pick her up.
Okay, talking like that by covering your mic on a bike like that, no. Just get a cardo. At speeds of over like 30 miles an hour, wind noise is actually very, very loud on a motorcycle. It's not the exhaust that causes hearing damage. It's the wind noise. So far, aside from the jump off the cliff, that like little bluff over the cars, that's the most unrealistic thing I've seen in this scene. Now we see the rolling burnout thing, where he's lifting his weight and putting on the front tire, loading that front brake, and causing the rear tire to spin. That's what would have happened in the Matrix scene when they're trying to get away really fast by doing that, burnout and then turbo mode thing. This is what happens. You don't actually accelerate, and all you do is make smoke, and that's exactly what they're doing here. No, you do not get to turn 90 degrees by skidding your rear wheel and hoping that you don't low side. First of all, if you grab that much rear brake and skid the bike that far, you're most likely going to low side. So the bike is going to continue to go, you're going to lose all traction, and you'll crash. Or you get through it and you let go of the rear brake like that, the tire gets immediate traction and you get a high side and you get thrown off the high side of the motorcycle. Ask Marc Marquez how that feels. The thing that's so cool about these older movies is they didn't have great CGI, so they actually had to do a lot of this stuff. Sure, it might look hokey when they brought in the wires to lower the bike down, but being able to actually do the scene looks so much better than the CGI. And that's kind of why this scene holds up better than the Matrix one, because some of the CGI just looks, it doesn't age very well. Now let's do the John Wick one, because I heard a lot of people ask about this one, and this one bothers me almost to no end, so this should be fun. Pretty sure that was a V4. Pretty sure that was a V4 sound. I haven't been calling that out, but that's the first time we've heard a V4 soundtrack, and these are pretty sure they're MT-09s. That was so fake, but it looked really cool. So I know for a fact that this was done on a green screen. I know it was done on a stage. However, one of the cool things is because Keanu Reeves himself is an actual motorcyclist, you watch him continually going for the throttle. So in order to keep his speed here, he grabbed the throttle with the left hand. That's honestly, it's just a nice attention to detail that it just helps to have an actual motorcyclist doing this stuff. So just watch the throttle on the bike, and you're actually going to see him constantly going for it, even when he switches hands. Oh, man. No, but it looks great. So, if you lock the rear tire up, you're not going to actually flip the bike over. The only way you're going to do that is if you lock the front up. You might be able to throw the bike forwards. You're never going to cause the bike to flip backwards, unless what you're doing is you just grab a bunch of throttle, let go of the clutch, then you can loop it. But you got to be going a little bit slower or be riding a very fast motorcycle to do that. And I also like the guy who's sitting on the pillion backwards being like, oh, it sucks to be them. That looked like they actually did that. So let's watch that again. Locks the rear wheel. Turn, 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 turn. I think they actually did that with Keanu on there. I think they might have been on set and actually did that. That's cool. Again, just goes to show having a lead who can ride a motorcycle when you're doing motorcycle scenes makes it look all the cooler. Everything else is BS so far, but like that. There you go. So he locks up the front tire and then they roll forward. Although honestly, a samurai sword, unless it's made of depleted uranium, is not going to stop it. And essentially all you're going to do is you're going to have the spokes slam into whatever you have in there, and it's going to tear the wheel apart and they're going to crash some other way. It's unlikely they're going to flip ass over tea kettle. I said that was a V4 earlier. I think it's a crossplane. I think it's the R1 sound. Let's watch that again. That's definitely the R1. 100% that's the R1. All right, so the one guy low sides. That's actually a good representation of a high side right there. I don't think... Oh, man. I think they actually threw somebody at the stairs there. Let's watch it one more time. So what causes the high side? So he's coming to a stop. The only thing I could see that would cause that high side is that he releases the brake. And like we talked about in the last scene, the tire caught again. Yeah, the lines on the street can be a little bit slick in the rain, but you would be stunned how good your grip is in the wet. So my guess is he was coming to a stop and then let go of the rear brake, and then the bike went whee, threw him over, just like Marquez. So the John Wick scene largely filmed on a stage on green screen, but I like the attention to detail of Keanu constantly grabbing the throttle. The scene where they do the spin, the J-turn, I've actually done that on a DRZ before. It's not that difficult the way that they did it. And again, I'm pretty sure they actually had Keanu do that. It's awesome when your lead can actually ride because you get to see stuff like this and it just looks great. Oh, biker boys, here we go. I said that Torque was our Fast and Furious, and a lot of people told me that Biker Boys is our Fast and Furious. This is another movie I have not seen, and I can already tell that Lawrence Fishburne's whole goatee situation here is rough. This is going to be real bad, isn't it?
Just when you thought it was over, just when you thought we were done, just when you thought it was safe, man. Just when you thought it was over, just when you thought we were done, just when you thought it was safe, man.
It's impressive doing a endo like that with somebody on the back of the bike. Hayabusa, lowered and stretched, I think. Is that a stretch Hayabusa? Come on, please be stretched. It definitely looks stretched. I'm relatively familiar with Hayabusas. That tire is pretty far back. Oh, there's another one. Oh, no, that's a Blackbird. That's a Blackbird in the background. There are so many tacky motorcycles here. Holy cow. Is this what, like, car people think when they see the original Fast and Furious, is that those cars are just disgusting and so tacky? All those stunts look great, man. Totally silly, but they look cool. Gixxer 1000? I'm pretty sure that's a Gixxer 1000. The other one looks like a Busa because it's got the 3-pot calipers. That sounds like a Hayabusa. They have this really unique grumble because they're so big and the idle is set so low that it has this thump to it. Busas are, if you haven't ridden an early generation Hayabusa, this would have been Gen 1. Ride one. They're really fun.
How's your boy call it?
That's not a Busa's back end. Maybe that's a Blackbird? Okay, so he lets the Blackbird get away. Nope. That much distance on, so okay, let's see how long it takes before he actually goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds. That Blackbird with a decent rider's doing 100 miles an hour already. He's gone. Now, there is so much to Biker Boys. If we're gonna do a part 3, I'd like to save some of it. So I'm gonna move on to a scene from Bollywood. Nobody loves motorcycles more than people in India, and nobody loves making silly movies like people in Bollywood. It's awesome. If you've never watched a Bollywood movie, they're so much fun, but they're also so stupid. This one is called Dhoom 3 with an H. So we're going to see what this thing's all about. It's 2 scenes. They're pretty short. Let's just dive on in. Oh, is he going to do the thing from... Oh, there... He's doing the bike kung fu from Torque. You're mixing bike kung fu from Torque and you're mixing the bullet dodging from the Matrix. Love it. Let's watch that. I love the guy letting go and laying back, the face he made. We gotta watch that again. I freaking love that. Oh, it's so fake, but it looks so cool. I actually know exactly where they filmed that too. That's in Chicago, right on, I'm pretty sure it's on Wacker Drive or the street just one over. My office in Chicago when I worked there used to be right by there. Don't know what they're doing filming a chase scene for a Bollywood movie in Chicago. All right, we got another one here. I love the speed ramps to like instant slow motion to like they're barely moving. Again, this is, I'm pretty sure, is that State Street or is that Wabash? I think it's on Wabash. Right where they filmed The Dark Knight is exactly where this was. Let's see that one more time. Cool guys, they always just, they're looking through their eyebrows and they're never looking at the explosion. It's just with purpose, he's moving forward. So 1.5 car lengths, something like that. We'll call it 3. He does 3 car lengths out of the back of this van just from a stop. There's one more scene from Dhoom that I wanna show you, because this one I did watch beforehand. It's really cool because it's a deleted scene, and they actually show you the crane that they used to actually get the shot. So let me pull it up here. So he's racing through the streets downtown Chicago. All the traffic comes to a stop. How's he gonna get around it? Did he change some settings? I gotta see that again. Okay, he pushed a button. He activated super mode. He's charging up his boost. I love how also everybody was covering their ears, like it's super loud. With the stock exhaust, it'd be loud, but it wouldn't be that loud. That's the rig that you're seeing in all of these movies. The guys just delete it in post. Let me show you that again. It's so cool to actually see that. Maybe I'm just the only person getting some real joy out of that because I'm a film nerd. So the way you can tell just right here, they've got a peg going through the rear axle and a peg going through the front axle. It's so cool. The idea though of doing a jump without any kind of ramp, unless you're a trials rider on a trials bike, no. No way are you gonna be able to just boost that off the ground. And with that, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at some of these movies. And if you wanna see another one, let me know down in the comments below what scenes you want me to cover. I'll try to cover as many as I can. Because this is just, I'm having fun. And if you would like to do TV shows too, let me know. Because I don't know how many motorcycle scenes there actually are in movies. Probably a ton, more than I'm thinking. But you know, I know there's some cool ones in 9-9 where Rosa claims that, you know, only losers ride Yamahas, even though she rides a Yamaha R1. A lot of really fun stuff in media where they just kept motorcycles so wrong. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.